Welcome to Jack Sends It. This is my second channel, and here is where I am going to show you guys the things that is happening behind the scenes. All of the shop upgrades, all the stuff that I really don't put out on the first channel because the first channel is mainly about the cars and the entertainment factor on those. So as you can see behind me, I have the car off of the rotisserie, the bottom is coated, and I'm about to go work on the doors. Let me give you a quick look at what that looks like right now. These doors are absolute trash, and right here is my list of everything that I need to get finished so that I can get the car to paint. Some of the stuff is finished, it's almost there. Some of it needs minor bodywork, but this is basically how I write reminders to myself so that I know what to bring when it comes to taking this thing over to the paint shop. This door looks pretty rough, this door looks pretty rough. There's a lot of things that are going on that just really aren't that nice. There's some rust on the bottom of one of these doors. Definitely it's going to take a little bit longer to fix this, but this should be done by the end of the week along with the gate. Now we have the gate over here. You guys have seen this in a previous video, how bad the rust is. This is going to be fixed along with that over there. But let's go talk about what has gone on the Supra that you haven't seen behind the scenes. With the floor being coated and everything looking really good on the bottom of the car, now I'm going to move to the inside of the car. I need to clean this up. I need to epoxy prime a few little spots in here that I had to repair from the previous damage that was on the car. But all through this section right here, I am going to clean it up and re-seam seal a lot of the stuff there. A lot of people were wondering what I was pointing to in the last episode, and what I was pointing to is the fact that all of these edges right here, all of this stuff right here, there's even some right there. It still has some of the sound pad attached to it. I want to disconnect that and clean it up really nice, and I also want to put sound deadening on the inside of this car. I want this car to be absolutely quiet. I want it to be the best that it can be because I absolutely love this car, and I'm probably going to keep this car forever. Now the car you guys have all been asking about, the Noble. The Noble is actually still moving along in the process. There is a few things that I'm waiting on, and that is why you haven't seen any videos on this car yet. As you can see, I still need to finish up the AC system. I have a couple of parts for the front that I'm getting, and I'm waiting on the clamshells. Those are coming from the UK. I'm gonna drop a picture of it right now. These things are going to change the total look of this car, and not only are they going to change the look of the car, I'm going to custom modify these pieces to my liking. I want them to stand out even more than this car already is, and it's going to be that much more unique and one of one. One of one. It's not a Corvette, but you know what? It's still one of one. Over here you can see I have the holes right here drilled out, or not drilled out, but marked for when I'm going to drill out the wiring that is going to come into the engine bay right here. I will have the ECU, PMU, and all the other stuff mounted here across the back wall, as well as some of the stuff going under here. We're going to have a bunch of different things modified and fitting to this car. It's going to be really cool. We're waiting on a dash, we're waiting on the pedal, we're waiting on throttle body, we're waiting on a ton of stuff. But if you look back here, nothing really has changed. We're going to leave the engine in there so that way when we go over to Hendo to get the exhaust made, we can have a full custom exhaust made. We have a turbo coming. We have a lot of stuff changing on this car very, very, very soon. And our friend John over at Luxury Choice, the Luxury Choice, is going to powder coat the entire frame, powder coat the suspension. This thing is going to be absolutely next level. As you guys have seen in the renderings, it looks amazing. Now let's talk about some of the things that you guys have seen in the background here, like Bolt Depot. Bolt Depot has sponsored the Jack Builds It channel. This is amazing. I cannot believe that that is happening because, and this is all thanks to you guys. And I think my channel is just a small channel that has grown from nothing to something very special. And it's really cool when we get to work with companies like this on all of these awesome products. Like it's awesome. This is every bolt that we're ever going to need. Like I am going to be able to put the Noble together with all brand new, either 10.9 or grade 8 bolts. This is crazy. Now, a big part of what we do here is we try to have our shop somewhat organized. And as you guys have seen in the past, the shop is a little messy. We are cleaning up, and that is thanks to our newest sponsor, LevRack. They sponsored the Jack Builds It channel again, and that is because of you guys. And this is my favorite part about the LevRack right here, is that we have these guys right here. So I'm all about consolidating and organizing and making things easily accessible. Now, having a big toolbox, the green toolbox that you guys have seen in the shop moving around, which I haven't even brought in my other toolboxes here. So there's a lot of stuff in here, and I want to make sure that I have enough space to work and move around and also have access to my tools. But this right here is going to change the way that I sort out my box, because it's basically a tool storage unit inside of a storage unit. So now I can put all the tools that I don't use as much or as frequently in here, and I can travel around the shop with a smaller cart. Probably bring my big toolbox home and bring my smaller cart here so that I'm able to basically wheel around what I need when I need it, and then go put it back over here when I don't need it. So super, super, super grateful. Thank you guys again, and thanks to Levrack for sponsoring the shop, because we have like literally a whole wall of Levrack over there, as well as a workstation right there now where we can build all of our cool custom stuff that we build here in the shop. Another thing that I am extremely grateful, because you guys have been watching and been supporting the channel, is the fact that I've been able to get sponsors so that I can pay for things in the shop to upgrade the shop, like these AC units. Right now in Florida, it's a little cold, so we have the heater on. This actually has a heat pump, and we don't have just one, we have 2 and 3. We have 3 AC units in this shop, keeping us cold during the summer and keeping us hot during the winter when it's, 30. That's cold. I mean, that's kind of cold, right? And up here we have all of our parts stacked up nice and neatly. Well, kind of neatly. It's a little bit of a mess, but that's because there's so many of them. We actually have about 2 cars broken down over 2 racks. Over here I have some old Evo parts from the build that I did before when I changed my mind on a few parts, so I have some new small parts inside of these boxes, but mainly up here is a ton of Supra parts. And there's some parts that you guys haven't seen that have not been shown on the channel yet, and that's because I went out to go get those parts and I had to travel pretty far, just like I did with the frame rail as well as the quarter panel. And over here on top of this rack, this is all brand new Supra parts or used Supra parts that I have purchased online. So yeah, that costs a lot of money right there. Also, I want to give a huge thanks to Hyperlight, who has supported the shop through the Jack Builds It channel once again, which is an absolutely crazy thing to me. They've set our shop up with amazing lights. Now we can see everything in here. We don't have any issues with dark spots in the shop. But I want to give you guys a bonus for sticking around to the end. Thank you so much for supporting the Jack Builds It channel and now coming over to the Jack Sends It channel. On this channel, we're going to do a lot of cool stuff. We're going to be doing some behind the scenes of like what it takes to actually do what I'm doing here and why I do what I do and where I get the resources and the information from for what I do. Also, I'm going to be doing some home projects, and we're going to be doing some really, unique stuff on this channel. We're going to drive some cars on this channel. We're going to do a lot of really cool stuff that we don't do on the first channel. Less music, more personal, one-on-one kind of, you guys get to know me a little bit better. But also I want to give you guys a bonus for sticking around. So I'm going to let you know on the colors that I've narrowed this down to. Now I am really kind of looking at these colors like, I would love to have, oh my goodness, I can't even remember my code here, but I would love to have this car in a very classy, but at the same time, really kind of awesome looking color. And I think I found one that I really like, and that would be the Matador Red Mica from Lexus. And it's kind of cool because it's a Lexus color, basically Toyota, and that's really cool. But I also have another one here that I've kind of fallen in love with. I'm not quite sold on it yet, but I think the car would look pretty good in it. It also has really cool accent options because you can accent this with pretty much anything. But take a look at this right here. This is Porsche Jet Green Metallic. Looks stunning. I mean, I love the highlights right there. It highlights just like the Evo does. The Evo actually has that highlight of blue and then the dark blue in certain, shades and colors, and then definitely looks really good when the sun hits it. I also have kind of thought about, Renaissance Red, standard Toyota color, looks really good on the car. Kind of leaning more towards the Red Matador Mica, or Matador Red Mica. And there is one more color that I've been looking at, but I am still kind of torn and kind of leaning more towards the red and the green colors. So let me know in the comments down below which one you guys like more. And if you have any other options, something similar to those that are modern looking colors that would look good on a curvy car like this, let me know. So that would give me an idea of how to narrow this down, because it was literally 3 days before the Evo went to paint before we found the color for the Evo, because we were going to always do blue, but I had no idea which one it was. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys again over on the Jack Builds It channel here in a couple weeks. And in a couple weeks, this car is going to be completely bodyworked and ready for paint. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.